Appendix A in your textbook covers educational financing, loans, and scholarships. I decided to add this to the class for two reasons. Student loans have become a huge issue for current students, and you may be faced with these decisions for your children. The increase in student loans is driven by the increase in the desire for higher education. This chart from 2016 clearly demonstrates the correlation between highest education level and unemployment and average weekly earnings. No surprise, higher education level equals lower unemployment rate and higher weekly earnings. Everyone here is already at level 3, some college, no degree. Some may be at level 4, associate degree. When you graduate from Ole Miss, you'll be at level 5, bachelor's degree, higher monthly earnings and lower unemployment rate than the average. I'm not going to go very deep in the area of student loans. I don't personally know that much, and that's what our financial aid office is for. I will briefly review the various types of assistance available. You're probably familiar with FAFSA. If you want federal aid, you have to fill it out. This is for money that has to be repaid. Scholarships and grants do not have to be repaid, but usually require a demonstration of financial need. Pell Grants are among the most common federal grants. They're available for a maximum of 12 semesters, and the maximum grant is $5,815 a year. Federal Supplemental Education Opportunity Grants have a maximum of $4,000 annually. They're tied to a Pell Grant and used in extreme financial need. Some other available grants include TEACH, aimed at teachers and requiring a teaching assignment within 8 years. Iraq and Afghanistan grants for those who lost a parent in Iraq or Afghanistan. Interestingly, the maximum was reduced for the 2016-17 year. Mississippi has tuition assistance grants. Many other states do as well. You must be a resident of the state for 1 year, have an ACT of 15 or above, and have not received the full Pell amount. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York and the Department of Education report that the annual total amount of student loans is $100 billion. The outstanding loan balance is $1.31 trillion. The interest rates on student loans change every year. These are the current rates for 2016-17, ranging from 3.76 to 6.31. Stafford Loans, most frequently dispersed loans. The interest accrues while you are in school. It can be paid or added to the loan balance, which can result in negative amortization. Stafford loans may be subsidized in extreme financial situations. Subsidized means the government pays the interest while the student is enrolled in school. Other loans available. Perkins loans. Extreme financial need. They only come in a subsidized form. They do have a low interest rate, a 10-year repayment, and a longer grace period. Plus loans are loans made by parents or a graduate student. Parents can only borrow to cover what is not covered by the student's financial aid package, and the rates are higher than Stafford or Perkins loans. Private student loans have higher rates, but there's no FAFSA required for them. Let's get to the repayment part. Stafford loans. You must start repaying 6 months after you're no longer enrolled or drop to half-time. Perkins loans must start 9 months after no longer enrolled. Plus loans, 60 days after the loan is dispersed. Think immediately. They may be deferred if the student is in school, but interest accrues. There are a variety of repayment options. The standard is a fixed amount monthly, not more than 10 years. Extended takes you out to a 25-year term. Graduates, the payment starts low and increases. Income contingent, monthly payment recomputed annually based on your income. The term can go up to 25 years. If the repayment plan is strictly followed, it's forgiven at 25 years, but the forgiven balance is taxable income. More repayment options. Income sensitive, a percentage of your monthly income for 10 years. Income based, the payment is 15% of discretionary income. Discretionary income is your adjusted gross income minus 150% of the poverty line. It's forgiven after 25 years if strictly followed. Pay as you earn, the payment cap is 10% of discretionary income. It requires proof of financial hardship. The balance is forgiven 20 years or 10 if public service. The revised pay as you earn plan is similar. It's the newest option. The payment cap is still 10% of discretionary income. Balance forgiveness, 20 years, 10 of public service, 25 years for graduate students. Consolidation loans are convenient and will reduce your payments to one lower payment. A consolidation loan can also extend the term to 30 years. Unless you're having a difficult time making your loan payments, these are usually not a good idea. I've posted a Wall Street Journal article from September 2018 titled The Student Loan Plan That's Right for You, which offers more advice on choosing a repayment option. This chart in your text shows default data for 2006, 11, and 16. Student loans are on the left. The gold bar is 2016. Look how it has grown for student loans. Clearly from the chart, we can see defaults have increased significantly in the last 10 years. Be aware, there is no limit on the length of time lenders can pursue repayment. With federal student loans, the government can garnish your wages, withhold tax refunds, and withhold other federal benefits. This is actually what drove me to add this short lecture to the class. This chart appeared in the Wall Street Journal in December 2016. Think about this. The number of Americans whose Social Security checks were garnished due to unpaid federal student loans. Look at the far right, 2014 and 15. People over 65 are having their Social Security garnished for student loans. You do not want to be in that situation. But if a loan term extends to 30 years, you could be paying off these loans in your golden years. It's possible to get a student loan deferred or forgiven. Deferral can be obtained if you re-enroll in school, you demonstrate financial hardship, you're unemployed, or you're deployed. Forgiveness usually involves some form of public service, military or volunteer service, and we'll see some options on the next slide. Loan forgiveness comes under the Public Loan Forgiveness Program, part of a 2007 bill. It applies to full-time public service employees. You must have made 120 qualifying loan payments 10 years, and it applies to eligible direct loans. Eligible programs include the Peace Corps, AmeriCorps, military service, teachers who serve in low-income areas, work with students with disabilities, or work in high-need schools, law students who serve with nonprofits or public interest organizations, and medical students involved in medical research or who work in low-income or remote areas. Loan cancellation is actually loan discharge. This requires a very special circumstance: death, total permanent disability, or fraud by the school. It is very rare for it to happen through bankruptcy, only if repayment would create a significant hardship. Another source of student income is federal work-study programs. It allows a student to work on campus, which is very convenient and is usually designed to fit around the student's class schedule. The pay is, however, very low. Financial aid has become a fact of life for most college students today. Making wise decisions about how much and where to obtain funds is critical. It's very important to your financial future that you find the most affordable education that fits your budget, future career, and long-term financial goals.